Chinese scientists have created an artificial sun. And the latest experiment in the man-made sun project saw it run for 20 minutes at 70 million
Look,
degrees.
I'm sorry, I've lost sound.
That's 5 times hotter than the real sun.
A city in China has a bright idea, as in 8 times brighter than the moon.
China wants to launch a fake moon into the sky by the year 2020. Announced last week at an innovation conference.
Get this, it's actually a satellite that would reflect the sun's rays at night. It will reportedly be 8 times brighter than the real moon and could replace streetlights.
However, astronauts are concerned about the increased light pollution it could cause.
But wait, there's more. This is crazy. China has also just taken nuclear technology to a whole new level by flipping the switch for the first time ever on a new fusion reactor. It's called the Taconic reactor. This thing is so powerful, it's literally being called an artificial sun, because it creates a powerful magnetic field that fuses hot plasma to reach temperatures of more than 150 million degrees Celsius, which is said to be, 10 times hotter than the core of the sun.
Today, we learned that they've made a new sun, indeed 10 times hotter than the core of the sun, through a fusion technique which produces no waste, cannot be stolen and misused by anybody else.
Time will tell on what unfolds here, but I think a lot of other countries around the world will be watching China very closely, and China's really trying to lead the world here and set its mark by creating this artificial sun and creating this technology that will lead the world. But I think a lot of people will be watching very closely as it's still in the developing phases of it, Corey.
It's now becoming clear we need to protect ourselves online. Start protecting yourself with private internet access. Private internet access is the leading no-log VPN service with over 1 million active users, 30 million downloads, and it's even open source. A VPN helps protect you from prying eyes you might not be aware of, and help you remain anonymous. A VPN can also assist in accessing things you might not normally have access to, including Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, you name it, by making it look like you're in another location. Private internet access is available on all of your devices. Get private internet access and become anonymous online. Click the link in the description to get your VPN risk-free and get an 83% off discount.
Fusion is a bold idea. It will elevate human energy use into new dimensions. But like all next generation technologies, the process is very humbling. We ran into problems, we got frustrated, and we moved on. Like making nuclear bombs or landing a man on the moon, we choose to do it because it is hard, extremely hard. And everything good is hard to get.
And the scientists from China and the rest of the world are working together because they believe fusion energy will be energy of the future. And that future is coming.
It is basically building their own sun. Now, we all knew that the sun rose in the east, Rick, but this is really literally now true.
中国呢，在这个长时间这个超导托克马克稳态，就是非常长时间使用的维持这个聚变等离体方面，在目前国际上是最先进的，而且是我们一直保持着这方面的水平。
Every once in a while, George, we do the kinds of stories in this business where it makes you want to open your eyes and go, oh my God, really? Have we reached this time? This thing that, older guys like you and I have only been reading about in comic strips, etc., most of our lives? It's kind of amazing to think that these changes that China is embarking on, if not executing, are really, truly global game changers. No?
When we look at the internet, there are a lot of social media users being asking questions on on the nuclear fusion issue and why ITER has been taking the lead. Let's take a look at what some of them have been saying. Well, Eva Malunova said that the question is, what is the environmental effect if there is a failure or terrorist attack? How dangerous it is if there is an explosion. I guess this is explosion. And people maybe don't understand quite well how a nuclear fusion reactor works and what it might imply if there is an accident or attack.
So it's a little bit difficult to explain like this without any drawing, but basically one of the major advantages of fusion is that the amount of material that you are manipulating in order to do the reaction, to fuse deuterium and tritium, which are both isotopes of hydrogen, this amount of material is always extremely small. In the volume of the ITER machine, of the plasma of the ITER machine, which is something like 1,000 cubic meter, there will be something like 1 gram of reactants. Okay, so whatever happens, the reaction never explodes, never diverges. Okay, the reaction, whatever happens, the reaction, the worst that can happen is that the reaction stops. Okay, so in case
there is no chance that Chernobyl disaster would happen on a nuclear fusion reactor.
No, absolutely not. So even in the worst situation, and even if you something we cannot imagine at the moment, whatever destruction of the facility that would come from outside or even from inside, the amount of nuclear material that would be released in the atmosphere, even if we have all the barriers, 1, 2, 3 barriers that are the usual things we are doing in nuclear industry, even if the worst of the worst cases, some grams of material would be released in the atmosphere. Okay, so it's nothing to do with fission reactors, which store in the reactor itself tons of material that are consumed as time goes on. Okay, so it's intrinsically safe in that sense and intrinsically clean. Of course, this is nuclear material.
So by nature, nuclear fusion is much safer than nuclear fission.
Yes.